Welcome back to Talkin' Fight, boxing fans around the world. Another episode of Boxing News Today, courtesy of our friends at boxing247.com. We're going to start off with a couple of signings. Kynoch Boxing signed 16-1 Kieran Smith to their roster. Kynoch Boxing are delighted to welcome one of Scotland's most talented boxers into their stable, Kieran Smith. Kieran holds a record of 16-1 and is the former WBC International Silver Champion. Before the boxing world ground to a halt due to the lockdown measures, Kieran defeated opponents with records of 21-3 and 16-0 in 2019. Last time out, Kieran suffered the sole defeat of his career against Troy Williamson, with Williamson going on to win the British super welterweight title. He will be back in the ring in early 2022 as he looks to build momentum again and get back into the title picture. Elsewhere, we see that Salita Promotions signs undefeated Eric De Leon. Salita Promotions proudly announces the signing of undefeated power-punching and lightweight contender Eric De Leon to a promotional contract. Born in Mexico and raised in Detroit, De Leon began boxing in the famed Kronk Gym, where he developed a strong bond with the late Emmanuel Stewart. As an amateur, De Leon went 19-0-1 with 11 knockouts, was a three-time National Golden Gloves champion in 3 different weight classes, and a leading contender to make the 2012 USA Olympic team before a shoulder injury derailed his dream. He elected to turn professional instead in 2012. Over the past 6 fights, De Leon has gone 5-0-1 against opponents with a combined 130-30 record. He followed up his 2018 draw with then 20-0 Andy Vences with 2 strong performances, a 10-round unanimous decision victory over Adrian Young, who's 25-4-2, and a 7th round knockout over Jose Luis Gallegos, who's 16-5. Said De Leon, "I feel great. I feel like it's a blessing for me to sign with Salita. I've known him for a long time, and overall, I feel there are really good opportunities with him. I'm blessed to have a great team all around." Over in China, we see that Xiaokang Song upsets Shangpeng for the WBC China Flyweight Title. 2 young gentlemen going at it. Shangpeng versus Xiaokang Song. It's a result out of the International Tech Innovation Industry Park out of Shanghai back on the 26th of November for the WBC China Flyweight Championship title. Professional boxing made a triumphant return in Shanghai with a 4-fight card at the Shanxi International Tech Innovation Industry Park. The headline contest featured 2 of the country's aspiring pugilists squaring off for the vacant WBC China Flyweight Championship belt. Shangpeng, the favorite going into the showdown, was against the perceived underdog Xiaokang Song in an intriguing matchup. The scheduled 10-rounder went the distance, and that distance deserved a standing ovation after 50 minutes of pulsating back and forth action. From the onset of the opening bell, both fighters fought a terrific contest. After the final bell rang, unfancied Xiaokang had his hand raised in victory to become the new WBC China Flyweight Champion, taking the nod on 2 of the judges' scorecards. The 3rd judge scored the contest a draw. Good stuff out of China. Elsewhere, in Los Angeles, Michael Hunter is going toe-to-toe against Jerry Forrest, and that's tonight. Trillerverse 4 will be broadcast, as you all know, on TrillerFightClub.com and Fight, starting at 6:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Triller announced the number 2 heavyweight ranked Michael the Bounty Hunter 2, 21-1 with 14 knockouts out of Las Vegas, has been added to the Thursday tonight, December night of heavyweights card against heavy-handed Southpaw veteran Jerry Slugger Forrest, who's 26-4-1 with 20 knockouts out of Newport News, Virginia. Hunter versus Forrest is the new 10-round main event at the Trillerverse 4 professional boxing card to be held at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City, followed by an iconic versus battle between music legends Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3-6 Mafia from the world-famous Hollywood Palladium in Los Angeles, California. The full fight card is Michael Hunter against Jerry Forrest, 10 rounds. Cassius Chaney versus George Arias, 10 rounds. Trey Lip Morrison, the son of Tommy Morrison, versus Mike Balogan, 10 rounds. Junior Wright versus Joe Jones, 6 rounds. And Frederick Julan going up against Keneal Wheeler, 6 rounds. Triller successfully bringing together first-class professional boxing with iconic versus battles is produced by the award-winning Nigel Lythgoe and the Thriller Fight Club visionary, in addition to the producer and creative force behind American Idol star and So You Can Think Dance. Let's move on. Nina Hughes faces Claudia Ferenczi in her pro debut this Friday. That's tomorrow night. It'll be held in York Hall out of London, England. Nina Hughes will become the latest talented female star to join the paid ranks on Friday, as she's relishing every moment of it ahead of the week's action-packed MTK Fight Night event. Hughes faces experienced Claudia Ferenczi as part of the huge card at York Hall in London, which is headlined by an IBF featherweight title eliminator between Isaac Lowe and Luis Alberto Lopez, and will be broadcast live on ESPN Plus in association with Top Rank, and also shown worldwide on IFL TV. Hughes achieved great success as an amateur, winning 4 ABA national titles and becoming part of Team GB boxing setup, and she's ready now to take on the professional game by storm when she makes her debut later this week. That'll be tomorrow night. Hughes said, "I'm really excited to finally be making my professional debut. I've been training really hard and waiting patiently for this day. I've had some great sparring against some really good girls. Training has gone well, and we've been working on a lot of things, practicing and sparring, so it's all coming together, and I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling ready." Yes, Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz is coming up on Saturday night, 4th of December. Devin Haney will fulfill a dream on Saturday night as he headlines at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, defending his WBC World Lightweight title against interim champion Jojo Diaz Jr. on Saturday night. Haney, who's 26-0 with 15 knockouts, puts his title on the line for the 4th time and is in back-to-back fight in his Las Vegas hometown for the first time since stepping through the ropes in Sin City for the 5th and 6th times as a pro in 2016. The Dream's 5th paid night in the ring was in the MGM Grand Garden Arena on the undercard of Manny Pacquiao's clash with Timothy Bradley in April, but now he's the star attraction at the famed boxing Mecca. "This is a dream come true to be living in Las Vegas and headlining the MGM Grand," said Haney. "I never thought that it would come this fast, but it's here. Now's the time for me to really perform in this great arena and show that I'm here to stay." Talking Fight has interviewed Haney before. I welcome you to go to talkingfight.com, search his name, and you'll come up with that interview. For more information on this particular story, please go to boxing247.com. Elsewhere, we see that Jojo Diaz has some things to say about the fight. Headline: "I have more tools than just experience to beat Haney." Let's scroll down a bit and see what else he has to say. "Experience will be a key factor in my victory, but my power, speed, and boxing ability are important too, and I think they're being underestimated," he said. "I'm a 2012 Olympian. I've been world champion. I've boxed great fighters, and I've paid my dues to get here. I'm here for a reason, for my hard work, and that's going to be the difference." Devin is an elusive and smart defensive fighter, but I don't feel he has the experience that I have. He has good range, and he uses his jab to keep on the outside. There's nothing I haven't seen before. I've seen multiple styles in the ring, and whatever he brings, I'll adapt. I feel he's the kind of guy that doesn't have confidence in himself, and he needs people around him to boost, build, and gain his confidence. Me, I am self-confident, self-motivated. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm capable of, and I'm going to get him out of there. Woo! Going to be a good fight. Jesse Hart faces David Murray at the RDR Promotions 2300 Arena in Philadelphia on December 11th, the following week. RDR Promotions is back at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia with Jesse Hart against David Murray in the headline bout on Saturday, December 11th. Undefeated fighters Isaiah Johnson, Xingchang Shibei, Nefer Charles, Joseph Trees, Rafael Cruz, Nelson Perez, Boma Carmo, and Felix Parilla are all in action. Two-time world title challenger Jesse Hart will be back in action at the 2300 Arena when he takes on David Murray in an 8-round super middleweight main event. Hart boxes out of Philadelphia and has a record of 27-3, 21 knockouts. The 32-year-old has twice battled for the super middleweight championship of the world, only to fall just short of Gilberto Ramirez in fights that were decided by just a couple of points. After a stellar amateur career, Hart turned professional on June 9th, 2012, with a first-round stoppage of Manuel Eastman out of Las Vegas. that led to Hart winning his first 22 fights, 20 by knockout, with victories over Tyrell Hendricks, Samuel Clarkson, Roberto Acevedo, Mike Jimenez, Andrew Hernandez, Alan Campa, and Hart also has victories over Desmond Nicholson, Mike Gravonsky, and Sullivan Barrera. Murray, who's out of Wilmington, Delaware, has a record of 10-2-1 with 6 knockouts. So we look forward to that fight coming up in a few weeks' time. Elsewhere, speaking of the holiday season, we have Xmas Fight Night, SES Box Gala, taking place in Magdeburg, Germany on December 18th. Team Germany, with its captain Roman Fress and 3-time junior world champion Michael Eifert at the top, wants to continue its success story. A total of 9 fights with Team Germany boxers, including 3 newcomers, are planned. The main fights are Roman Fress, WBO Interconti champion and captain of Team Germany, leads the way. Michael Eifert, the 3-time WBO, WBC, and IBFU champion in a light heavyweight division from Team Germany, is now reaching for the German championship title. And Nanette Stanchik, the Hamburg lightweight from Team Germany, wants to secure the WBO youth belt. Further fights include Tom Zemsky, who's in the light heavyweight category, Arthur Henrik, super middleweight, and Jürgen Vogel, who's in the welterweight division. In addition, those 3 newcomers I mentioned are Michael Siski, who's in the middleweight, Thomas Vosing, who's in cruiserweight, and Yoshka Bin in the middleweight. Looks like a good night, and it's good to see Germany back in action. Ty Tomlin headlines 2022 debut at the Austin Peay University on February 5th. On February 5th, 2022, undefeated lightweight prospect Ty Short Fuse Tomlin, who's undefeated 12-0 with 8 knockouts out of Cheatham County, Tennessee, will be headlining his return to the ring when he squares off against an opponent to be announced. The 10-round main event will take place in Clarksville, Tennessee, about 25 minutes from Tomlin's hometown at the Winfield Dunn Center at Austin Peay University. The show is being promoted by 116 Boxing Promotions in association with Tomlin's promoter, DeBella Entertainment. In his last fight, Tomlin stopped Ira Terry in 5 rounds with a technical knockout. Tomlin's currently riding a 3-fight knockout streak, and the team is looking for making it 4 after February 5th. Said Tomlin, "It feels so good to be fighting back at home once again. I'm going to be well prepared going to this fight, and we have a solid 8 weeks to prepare for war. The venue is very close. There's nothing like fighting in front of my hometown fans. I am getting better each fight, and I'll make this extra special. I'm an entertainer. I want to start off 2022 with a bang, as my goal is to be Prospect of the Year in 2022. So there's a name to look out for, Ty Tomlin. The WBA has announced it's an explosive December for those guys. It starts off with a big bout coming up, Gervonta Tank Davis and Issac Cruz for the WBA lightweight belt. That's December 5th. We all know that. And that they'll close out the year with a fight between Ryota Maruta and Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. And that'll take place in Tokyo, Japan on December 29th for the middleweight super championship. And in between, there'll be interesting fights and fighters in the case of Dmitry Bivol and Umar Salamov, who will fight for the super light heavyweight championship of the Pioneer organization on the 11th. On the same day, Arsen Goulamarian will expose his cruiserweight super championship against Alexei Egorov. December 14th will be another 2-fight day when Japanese star Naoya Inoue defends his bantamweight super championship against Filipino Arab Tapien. For his part, Danun Nyamtrong will defend his minimum super championship title versus Robert Paradero. And then on the 18th, David Morrell and Alantes Fox will clash for the super middleweight belt. Oh, and on the 21st, Victorio Saladar and Eric Rosa will fight for the regular 105 pounds belt. Good stuff and good news for the WBA. Speaking of Gervonta Tank Davis and Issac Cruz, I think we have a few quotes here. Let's have a quick look. Yes, we do. Says Tank, "The change in opponent didn't affect much in my training. That's just the sport of boxing. You have to be ready for anything. I always know that I have to adapt to whatever comes my way. Everyone says he's going to come forward, but that's easier said than done. If he does, we'll give the fans an exciting fight. We know that's his game plan. I just have to be smart, do what I do best, and put on a perfect performance. Goes without saying. For his part, Issac Cruz responds, we've been preparing the best way that we can. We're going to fight smart. We're going to stay within our style and then go forward with the best strategy to win the title. Gervonta is a great champion, and if he said that I'm a tougher fight than Rolando Romero, then there's a reason for that. He knows that I'm a better fighter than Romero because he saw me fight in San Antonio. There's a reason for his comments. I'm here to do my job to win the fight, and whether it's by decision or knockout, I'm going to try to win no matter what. I'm going to show everybody that Issac Cruz is a true Mexican warrior, and I'm going to show them what I'm worth with every punch I throw. They will see what I'm worth on Sunday, December 5th. And we all look forward to that fight. And we thank you very much for joining us today on the Boxing News Today show. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we'll see you on Monday.